Hey everybody, welcome to the AWI review. So I did something a little bit different today. I decided to go with a display to show off these miniatures instead of just showing you on my desk. And I did this for a couple reasons. One, because I think these miniatures are phenomenal, and I think the sculpts and everything on the new designs are really good. And I didn't think that my desk was a suitable location to show them off. I apologize for shaky cam. Since I'm doing this away from my desk, I don't have the awesome steady arm mechanism thing that I occasionally use to do these videos. So in the interim, I'm kind of doing it this way, and I have to hold the camera, and that's that. So in this review, we are kind of going back full circle to the unboxing video I did on the U.S. Starter Army box set for Konflikt 47. So quick shout outs to H, Chris, and Russ for doing a phenomenal job working with the Warlord Games team to get these miniatures kind of sculpted and the rule set done and the printing done. Everything is fantastic. There were a few minor things I talked about in the unboxing video. Missing a leg for one of the walkers because I guess I got a duplicate. And I know that's been an issue a lot of people have had with one of the batches. Warlord Games assures us that that problem has been rectified, and there shouldn't be any new resurgence of that problem with the Coyote Walkers going forward. So if you're thinking about buying a box set, you don't have to worry about getting a duplicate leg. And I can tell you from personal experience, they were really quick to turn that around. And they got me a new fresh Walker leg, lickety split. So anyway, this is essentially the full contents of the starter box. Let's see if it'll focus better. There we go. So we've got essentially 20 miniatures. We've got our heavy infantry, our Sherman T tank, not our Stuart tank, sorry, and our Coyote. Our Sherman T, the T stands for Tesla. So we'll go a little bit closer in detail here, and I'll give you guys the skinny on these guys right now. Okay, first up we have some teams and our lieutenant. So what I ended up doing was I painted these guys up as 28th Infantry Division, but you'll notice in a minute that they're not all 28th Infantry Division. So we've got going on our lieutenant, who's right there. And we have a bazooka team. And if we walk around this way, knocking over trees, I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. You guys can finish that one for me. Our medic. Okay. And then behind them, I have 2 infantry squads of 8. And the way that I mocked them up was they all have carbines. Well, this group right here has carbines because they represent the 104th Cavalry Reconnaissance Squadron, which is they were attached to the 28th Infantry Division. So these guys have 28th Infantry Division patches, but in all honesty, guys going forward are going to have special patches. I'm having decals made by Company B Miniatures. Company B decals, I should say. So I'll have special decals made with the correct arm badges for emblems for these guys. And then behind them, I have standard infantry with Garands, a couple Springfields in there too. Behind them, we have our heavy infantry. And then some close-ups of our Sherman Tank here. Maybe it'll focus for me. And here is the coyote. Alright, so at the end of this video, if this shaky cam is getting too much for you, I'm going to have still pictures of these. So check out the still pictures. If you're not a fan of the shaky cam, I'm not a fan of the shaky cam, but there's really no other way for me to do this. So really sorry about that. I wish I had like a tripod. I wish I had steady your hands tonight. I just don't. So some quick conversations here about the points value and how I've kind of determined the setup for these. So both infantry squads, the carbines and the Garands and Springfields all count as rifles. So essentially, if you want to, I suppose, according to the rules, you can equip any of the three as rifles and you'll be fine. I don't think there's a rule against equipping carbines over rifles, or I should say over Garands. So, you know, I'm doing it because, historically speaking, the cavalry units, the mechanized cav rather, were equipped with more carbines and SMGs than they were with Garands, and this was because they were supposed to be fighting as mechanized infantry, so they'd be transported to locations, recon an area, were meant to hold ground, recon areas. So I mean, you're not really going into like, you know, heavy combat, at least not theoretically. You weren't supposed to be, although some did. You were mainly going in as, you know, skirmishers. And, you know, that's how I'm planning on deploying these, you know, in small squads of 8 as opposed to 12. And I felt that I could do more with that. So what I did was I have one guy who's an NCO with an SMG. Let's see, 6 guys with carbines, and 1 guy with a BAR. And in this way, I've kind of limited the amount of dice I can roll because, in truth, you could theoretically have 4 guys with SMGs and 2 guys with BARs, and it's fine, but I didn't want to go that route with these guys. I wanted to keep it pretty basic so that I could include more, you know, a different variety of vehicles and such on the table, and I wasn't limited because I put so much points into my infantry. So that's one thing. Same thing with the back guys here. You can kind of get a better look at my horrible paint job. But yeah, you know, you can see, again, they're all equipped with rifles, 1 guy with an SMG, and then 1 guy with a BAR. Heavy infantry are pretty badass. For my army, I'm probably not going to be using heavy infantry. I'm going to instead dedicate the points to, you know, like some support vehicles, either M8 Scott HMCs or, you know, M8 armored cars or M20 Scout cars, or, you know, I really want to make this a mechanized force, so I want to kind of limit the amount of infantry that I have to an extent. So, yeah, these guys, really, really cool sculpts. Let's see if I can zoom in and maybe get the camera to focus. The camera doesn't want to focus today. It's kind of throwing me off. I don't know why it's not focusing. There it goes. Okay. So, yeah, really great sculpts, as you can see. Paint job came out pretty well. You know, I didn't know how to paint these guys, so I was kind of just going on the fly. Used a mixture of different greens, and I kept the army, the actual, the iconic World War II helmet, steel helmet, the same green that I use on all the other infantry, so that it kind of makes them fit in more. And then beyond that, you can see the Sherman Tank, the Sherman T with its crewmen. There's actually 2 crew. Isn't there? Oh no, there's only 1 on this tank. I'm sorry, I apologize. 1 crewman. And I named this guy Hard to Kill. I thought it was appropriate because he's really taken a beating. You can tell that he sees some better days here. He's got shot up by who knows what. Maybe he was attacked by a couple of horrors, some of the new German horrors out there. But you know, I really went for a rusted effect on this guy, and you know, he's been in combat, he's been out for a while, the crew's kind of worn and tired, and they don't have the time to dedicate to maintenance, so the thing is getting a little rusty, but nevertheless, it's still, you know, tugging on. So, yeah, the only complaint that I would have is the back is a little heavy. If you're not careful with this, it'll fly right out. So my suggestion is, if you're good at it, I'm not good at it because I am terrible with green stuff, and I'll magnetize the bottom and put like a little piece of plastic card or something underneath here and then put a magnet on that, because you know, this will fly right off if you're not careful. And I didn't want to glue it down because I wanted to have turret control so I could actually aim it, have some sort of cinematic feel to it. So yeah, just, you know, be wary of that. And then finally, I'm gonna move this guy over here just so you can get a good look at him. Move the smoke and fire there. This is the light walker, the Coyote light walker. One of two that I have, and the only reason I'm showing the one right now is because I really kind of wanted to just show the box set for this video. I'll do another video on the walkers and maybe do one on the whole shebang, the whole army that I've got going on right now. So, yep, here's the one view of the walker. And there's the back of the walker. Again, amazing sculpts. Just so detailed, you know. And the thing is, the 3D, you know, I know that, I believe that Chris is responsible for the rules, H is responsible for 3D printing, and Russ is responsible for sculpting. And I think that's the way that it's working. You know, shout out to H really for the excellent job making sure that these come out smooth, because I've seen some 3D printed stuff that has just been a wreck, total nightmare. So really, good job guys on just amazing work here. And goes together real easy. Paints up real nice, clearly. So yeah, this is the full U.S. starter set. Maybe again my camera will focus. There we go. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you found this video interesting. Again, I apologize for its length. And if you have any questions, post them up in the comments. I'll be happy to answer. And catch you guys later.